Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic Non-Classics. This is episode number 1891 and Doubleshot number 1785. Now, this one, two DC trades. First, the collect issues came out in the early, I think like the late 80s, early 90s. We have Batman, the Dark Detective, Volume 5. This collect issues from Batman, 612 to 614. 616 to 621, and the third annual. Yes, the issues in here are written by Alan Grant and Archie Goodwin. The artwork is done by the late Norm Bonfiger and Dan Jurgens. So yes, there's I thought Batman Beyond was the first time he did. Nobody releases artwork here. Yeah, Norm Bonfiger doing the cover art with Alice Procure. Now, in these issues, it's mostly just a lot of like a bit of weirdish issues these ones are. Like there's a storyline here, I think it's from 618 to about 621-ish. Those lead into, I believe it was the second volume for Robin, I believe it was, because I've contacted with issues before. There's a story in here. The first story in here involves the original Catman, Blake Thomas. Yes, he appears in here in this weird opening story arc involving cat people. Yeah, it's a really odd three-part story arc, but it's Alan Grant. What do you expect? Now, as for 615, I believe that's collected in one of the Cape Crusader trades. More like social stuff in here. Yes, and then we have 616. More like social stuff. That's mostly what a lot of issues are. There is a cage appearance. There's one brief appearance in here by the Joker. Yes, the Joker briefly appears in issues 617 and I believe 618. Yes, and he's the only regular Batman villain you will see in these issues. Yes. After he's defeated in 617. And then we have 618, which basically deals the whole thing with Tim Drake. I believe I've talked about the issues before in one of the Robin trades, but yeah. As for the annual itself, the third annual for the series, which this is the one Archie Goodwin, gorgeous cover. I love it. I believe this is the same cover as we did. I don't think they're the first annual for Detective. No. This story here, it is all about Batman and all about, well, him battling ninjas, some Japanese stuff in here. Really interesting stuff here, but the biggest thing you got to take away from these issues is the really good artwork by Norm Bonfigo. It's really good stuff here. Aside from the fact we have a few issues that lead to the second volume of Robin, there's not a lot of really noteworthy stuff happening in these issues, but I'm happy to review this. I give this book a 9 out of 10. Alright, next up it is a storyline that came out the same time as Secret Wars 2015. Yes, a book that came out approximately as this year, 7 years ago. I remember this book coming out, and a lot of people can agree the tie-ins are better than the main series. Convergence. Yes, Convergence. A book that had 4 writers for 8 issues. And unlike Secret Wars, this one actually came out, all the issues came on time. Unlike Secret Wars, where one issue skipped the month. Yep. Now, these are your writers for these issues. You have Jeff King, Scott Lobdell, and Dan Jurgens. Yes, these are your 3 writers. Art by Andy Kubert, Anthony Van Sciver, Stefan Sevgoy, and Carlo Partitan. Yeah, this book collects the entire event of Convergence. Convergence number 0 is then put the post-Flashpoint Superman encountering this version of Brainiac. Along with seeing the original Earth 1 Brainiac, we see the Bronze Age version, the one that came just before Crisis on Infinite Earths. And we also see the one that Jeff Johns helped bring in. And multiple that just said this main thing here. Now, in these very issues, we do see the death of the Earth 2 Thomas Wayne. Yeah, he gets killed off in these issues via an explosion. They take off a lot of New Earth Batman villains. Yes, which, by the way, I don't think that really counts as basically killing off the regular characters as a whole. One premise that this thing was very hyping was that we were going to have the characters of the post-Flash universe basically enroll in this book. That was a big fat lie. Yes, DC lied about that. The post-Flashpoint characters do nothing. They briefly appear occasionally of this whole book, and this whole book is set on the planet Telos, an artificially created planet created by Telos himself. Yes, and by the way, this version of Brainiac actually just previously appeared prior to this in New 52 Future's End, a series that is very well despised. Yes. We also appear in by Demos, who, yeah, and by the way, how the Earth 2 characters brought in here is like, oh, we have Dick Grayson, who apparently that Flash knows who he is, along with Green Lantern, a Thomas Wayne Batman, and then we see Elena come out of the ground. The first thing she does is kisses Dick Grayson. They're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, Dick Grayson, you got kissed by a beautiful redhead. Good to know my book. Yeah, Elena herself, the former avatar of the Red for Earth 2, she doesn't do a lot in this miniseries. Most of it's all Dick Grayson do a lot. Him along with the Flash and Green Lantern do a good amount of work in here. But Elena, she does practically nothing. Batman gets cut off in here. Dick Grayson gets hands sort of like a symbiote type of thing because he gets injured. So he puts like a bat on his chest and becomes new Batman. So you can kind of say that this whole book, basically for the Earth 2 characters, it just basically continues for Earth 2 Worlds and leaves off and lays the groundwork for the Earth 2 Society book, which came right after this, believe it or not. Yes. And the thing is, even all the interesting stuff related to Convergence, read the tie-ins. Yeah, because we also have Superman here, the pre-Flashpoint Superman making his return here, which prior to this book, the last time we was seen was back in 2011. Yep. And then pretty much after this miniseries wrapped up, he later got a 8-issue ongoing series called Superman, Lois, and Clark, done by Dan Jurgens. Which that book led into the Rebirth Superman run, which Dan Jurgens wrote the Action Comics series. And Superman was done by Peter Tomasi. Excuse me. The problem with this series is it's a bit confusing to read, especially as we have so many characters. We have characters from the Injustice universe, Flashpoint. Yes, Flashpoint characters. Because we have Flashpoint, Wonder Woman, Flash, Aqua in the cover. We have Demos. We have characters from Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth 3, the Hex book. Yes, the book Hex, the last 18 issues. We have all these alternate different realities in here. And they're all bungled together in here. Now, you read this main book, and if you don't read the tie-ins, you are so confused on exactly who the heck these characters are. This book does also offer something really cool, and I do in fact agree with this. Yes. They give a little bit of back history on a lot of the worlds they have in this book. We have Atlanta, Georgia. First appearance, Hex number 1. Bizarre World. Action Comics 263. Battlestate Candor. Action Comics 242. Cap's Hobby Shop World. Avengers of Bob Hope number 4. Central City Tangent Universe. Tangent Comics The Atom. I gotta recommend that. It's actually a really good universe. The Atom is input. This version of the Tangent verse Atom, he's the world's Superman. Dark Knight Universe, Batman and Darkest Night. Dream World, that is from Grant Morrison's Animan run. Yes, how I know this? The cover. That's from Grant Morrison's run. We also have Dorville, which is basically from the Great Apocalypse storyline from Strange Adventures 117. Earth 2 post-Flash universe. Earth number 1, obviously. Earth 2A. Earth A. That actually first appeared in Justice League America number 37. I believe Gardner Fox created that one. Earth C minus. First appearance, Captain Carrot and his Amazing Zoo Crew number 4. Earth Prime. This actually is the real world. First appearance, Flash 179. El Inferno. This is from the Justice Raiders book. Justice Raiders. Chuck Dixon created this scoop. Electrotopolis. Crisis of Infinite Earths number 4. Fawcett City, Earth S. Wiz Comics number 2. Follywood, California. Yes. And this appeared in the first issue of Captain Carrot and his Amazing Zoo Crew. Gotham City, Batman Beyond Universe. The Batman Beyond comic over 1999. Gotham City, Gaslight Universe. Batman Gotham Gaslight. Really good one-shot. Which actually was after for a movie. Gotham City Flashpoint. Flash number 1. Gotham City Injustice Universe. Injustice Gotham number 1. Gotham City Just Imagine Universe. Just Imagine Batman number 1. Yeah, a lot of Gotham City here. Gotham City Post-Flash Universe. Batman Volume number 1. Gotham City Pre-Crisis Earth 1. Detective Comics 327, which I believe was the first appearance of Earth 1 altogether. Gotham City Pre-Flashpoint Zero number 4. I don't know why the heck they basically say it was Zero number 04 when it was in their book. I thought that was kind of weird. Yeah, that I thought was kind of an error on their part. Because why would they say me first appearance in Zero number 4 when that makes no sense? Because the first time they appeared, I think it was either Detective Comics 587 or it was Batman 401. It's got to be one of those two issues. It can't be number 0. It's so stupid. Gotham City, Red Rain Universe. Batman Dragon Red Rain. Hub City, Earth 4. The Charlatan Heroes Universe. Blue Beam number 1. Legion of Shadows Universe. Doom Patrol, Volume 2, number 53. Little League Universe. Batman Superman, number 51. Metropolis, the 31st Century. Legionnaires, number 1. This actually is the post-Zero Hour. I don't know why this says 31st Century, the first print Legionnaires, number 1. Did they forget about the other Legionnaires books? I don't know. Metropolis, 853rd Century. Action Comics, issue 1 million. Metropolis, Earth 3. Just Like America, number 30. Metropolis, Kingdom Come Universe. Kingdom number 1. Metropolis. Okay, here's the correct one. Metropolis, Pre-Crisis Earth 30th Century. Adventure Comics 247. Metropolis, Pre-Crisis Earth 2. Flash 123. Yes, that technically was the first time it was referenced, but it was retconned as basically earlier than that. Metropolis, Pre-Zero Hour, Crisis of Earth number 12. That's actually correct. Metropolis, Superman Generation Universe, Superman Batman Generation number 1. Metropolis, Red/Blue Universe, Superman 1/2. Moscow, Russia, Superman Red Sun. I've heard this book is really good. I've never read it. New Frontier Universe, New Frontier number 1. Obviously, New York City, 35 years later, post-5 universe, New 50 Futures number 0, which is a really bad issue. New York City, Angor, Just Like Year 15. New York City, Earth AD, Commanding number 1, Jack Kirby's creation. New York City, Earth X, Freedom Fighters number 1, which I believe they came with Earth 1 in that series. Pirate Universe, Detective Comics, and number 7. I believe Chuck Dixon wrote that one. Yep, Chuck Dixon did that one. Quard, Anti-Modern Universe, Green Lantern, Volume 2, number 2. Reverse Gender Universe, Earth's Finest, Supergirl and Batgirl number 1, 1998. San Diego, California. And this is surprising for you. Wildcats number 1 from 1992. Yes, a Jim Lee book. Sakaris, first issue by the Rape. First read also Warlord as well. Dame was a little bit later. Super Sons Universe, the original Super Sons. Not Damian and John. The original one. The one that Bob Haney did. Which, apparently a lot of time when he wrote World's Finest, he'd ignore regular continuity just to jump to the future. World's Finest 15. Twilight Universe. Twilight 1. No, it has nothing to do with the book Twilight. And Vanishing Point. First appearance, Adventure Superman 476 in 1991. Yes. Good artwork. Somewhat confusing story. Though at the end of this, basically, get more stuff here. By the way, I give this book a 8.5 out of 10. Now, This does lead to stuff like the Superman thing that leads into Superman and Lois and Clark. There are two heroes, Earth 2 Society. Parallax Hal Jordan. Yes, this guy. He later appears in some issues of Green Lantern Marvel Infinity, and then he disappears and never seen again. And is never brought up ever again. He's basically a forgotten plot point. He just flies off in issue 50, and that's it for him. Yep. As for Barry, and by the way, we also have the Earth 1 Barry Allen and the Earth 1 Supergirl, where they go off and die in Crisis of Earth. Supergirl died in issue, I believe Supergirl died in issue 10. I think Flash died in issue 8. Yes. Great though that Brainiac got a chance to put everything back. Now, as for why in the world he stole these cities and put them in domes, the book itself doesn't really go into it. He just stole them at some point, and well, then he puts them back. Demos, who like, oh, he's supposed to be a villain? Not really. He doesn't do very much. He appears like he was a villain for like 2 issues, and then basically like they just wrap up things and bring home. Yeah. And also from the point of view of some characters, this book is basically forgotten about. I mean, the only consequence we got from this particular event was we got John Kent. Yep, thanks to Convergence, we got John Kent. So you gotta thank this book for. You gotta thank this event for bringing in John Kent, the son of Superman and Lois Lane. Yep, that's one positive you gotta say about this event. One negative, well, the main event itself is, well, for some people, not that interesting at all. The tie-in, which I can't wait to review those because those are really good. Because I never came across a bad one per se, just that I would love to talk about those. I mean, here's the thing about those tie-ins. All the miniseries are 2 issues apiece, and that's it. They're really good, and like, the issue 2s, for some reason, they had the sneak previews for, like, a lot of the books came after Convergence wrapped up. Yeah, all the storylines had the sneak preview as a backup feature for some reason. I have no idea why. Yep. So yes, that is episode of you. Next time is definitely going to be One Piece. Okay, next video. Bye.